Let's see. Next question is: you said that you are Masters 4 now, but you just deranked a little
Yeah.
bit. So what were you before?
Yeah. I oh wait, I actually need to check this. I think I was at GM5 and then I went
Mm-hmm.
4 and 15, and then I think
Oh, 4 and
I think it was like
15. Oh,
5 and
geez.
8. Yeah, 4 and 15 and 5 and 8.
Gotcha. So then, last thing, I guess we can talk on that for a second. Do you find yourself often going on long lost streaks?
Um, Whenever I play with my one friend, see, he's good. Like good,
Mm-hmm.
good. It's just for some reason we lose. Me and him
Mm-hmm.
do really good when we're in the same lobby, and then we just lose. I
Mm,
actually don't get it.
mm-hmm. Okay.
That's
Um,
always when it's happening.
do you over what course of time was like say for example like the 4 and 15, or I guess it would have had to be 5
Yeah,
and 15. Or I get no, you get the 15 first. Never mind. And,
yeah.
when you got to the 15, over what course of time was that? Was that like
Um,
2 days? Was it a week?
it was probably me getting like 4 and 7 in one day ish. Or
Mhm.
no, it was more like 3 and 7. And then
Mhm.
I like stopped playing because I was a little annoyed. And then over the next few days, I just kept losing. I think it was like a
Mhm.
day or two, and then I just
Gotcha.
got tilted, and then I went back and then
Gotcha,
finally
gotcha.
finished that.
All
But
right. Well,
yeah,
something that can be helpful, and this is the first thing we can start with, and before we get into anything else, is just some good playing habits, and of course we'll get into more of like how you can improve and get better and things like that. But first thing is just probably when you a really good habit to get into is that when you start losing, you tend to keep losing, so you want to just set limits for yourself. Um, and just like in kind of boundaries. It's the general kind of principle behind losing is that when you start losing and you get on that streak, then you just kind of keep going. It could be for so many different reasons. Like you said, tilting, like you can do tilt queuing. You can possibly you could just be tired or in a bad mood, or you could have just
mhm,
not be playing good at the moment, or maybe you're just getting a bunch of bad games and that just kind of puts you off or something like that, right? Maybe your aim's not doing great for the day, things like that, right? You have a lot of different reasons, but generally, if you start losing, you keep losing. Set boundaries so you can do something along the lines of after like 2 to 3 games, if you lose 2 to 3 games in a row, then you can take a break, do 5 30 minutes or 5 to 30 minutes of just walk
yeah.
around, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, rest your eyes, do whatever. Come back, try again. If you lose another game or two, then just be done on that account for the day. And you can doesn't mean you have to stop playing. You can go play on another role. You can go if you don't care about it. You can go play on another account. You can go play on quick play, something whatever. Big thing is just like don't keep losing games because then it's just not gonna be good for you all around. It's probably, I mean, like even if you want to think about this like on the improve, even if you didn't care about rank, it's also not going to help you to improve if you're just dropping down to a rank below where you usually play at.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So
Okay.
that's just some general tips. Make sense?
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, cool. Any other questions before we get started?
Nah.
All right. Well, I'll just be a minute or so. I'm looking for something to talk about then.
I
One. Attackers incoming. Engaging enemy commander. Stop the pain. Every obstacle has an opportunity to learn. Shields under fire. Patching you up.
All right.
Barrier is nearly spent.
Shields up. Helping you
So,
recover.
very, very, like kind of minor, but right now we could potentially just be like using some of this time to scout. It doesn't really seem like you have very much visibility over what's going on. I mean, like you saw the Junkrick over
yeah.
there, but we haven't even been like shield peeking, right? Like you kind of do like the third person checking around corner type of deal. And obviously you
Mm,
can't do anything, really do very much because they aren't near you yet. Um, because you have to kind of wait for them to push so you can get whip shots in and things like that. But it'd probably still be valuable to just see where they're at. You could maybe be like watching right side for your team, you know, with your third person peek. You could just be checking around the corner here, things like that. Instead of just kind of staring at a wall,
Yeah.
give you some info to work with.
My barrier is gone.
Okay, now
Yeah,
now we're at, go ahead.
No, I see what you mean. I was just kind of seeing, yeah.
Yeah. All right, now we're at the point where we should probably start getting like spam whip shots in because they're definitely in range now, right? You can see like you can start landing on like Ramatra here,
Mhm.
so that we can probably just start spamming those out so that we get the auto inspire going, so we don't have to keep throwing as many packs. Yeah, there's one thing I'm noticing is we haven't whip shot it yet. There we go, first one, but we're a minute in.
Yeah.
Nice kill. All right.
Here, take this. Thank you.
Like right there, do you want me to be playing more up by the SIG? Or do you want me
So
to...
you're on your Ana, which works if they're on something that like would go and contest your Ana, but they're not really on anything to contest Ana. So then the question becomes like, what are we really protecting Ana from? Maybe like
Okay.
maybe we're stopping like a helix or something, but you're probably not going to find as much value as if they were like on a dive or flankers, right? Because then it's really
Yeah.
valuable for you to be sitting on her because you can get them off of her and things like that. You can be the anti dive, um, but you're probably not going to find as much value because they're not on anything like that, and they're just gonna kind of shoot your shield, and then you're not going to be able to do anything else. So it's just probably pretty low value. So to answer your question, I would say you could probably be upward with Sig at the moment. You know, get some whip shots in. You have Bash to be able to back up if you want to. But this would put you in whip shot range, which is usually, I would say,
Yeah.
like, generally speaking, the range you're going to want to try to be in, like kind of within that 20 meters of enemies, just so you can keep Inspire up and active. So you could be here, which should allow you to do that. Maybe you could be up here, where you could do the same thing, be with your Echo. Your Ana's rotating up here too. It's not the biggest deal at the moment because you're in between fights. But yeah, I probably Sig or Echo
Mm.
because they're kind of closer to stuff.
Yeah. Alright.
Now this is fine because they're both in the same place, so I think high ground's good here.
Let me help you with that.
So let's see. Minor points. Just like watch whip shotting away when you could just be like killing them here, because I think you're like they're down half their team. We're kind of pushing him back when he's all by himself versus 4 of you. But you guys, this is going pretty smooth at the moment.
I'll come every now.
Yeah, so here maybe could be somewhere around like cart area, cart to Sig, because we're just from the position we're in, we're probably not going to be able to do too much, right? This is outside of your whip shot range, so we can't use whip shot. This is outside of your bash range, so we can't use bash. This is outside of your flail range, so we can't use flail. Because we're not using any of that, we're not going to be using Inspire. So that's 4 different like abilities that we're not using. So basically, and then because you're not doing any of that, you're going to be charging your ult super slow, which means that we're down on ult charge. So then we kind of just would be pack botting from this range, which you're just going to be. Really, if you're just taking that play style, then you'd just be better off on like any other support, right?
Yeah.
So, as Brig, we probably just want to be a little bit closer be within range to be able to use some of your abilities, and then you're gonna find more value because you'll be getting more healing, more damage, more ult charge, and you'll actually be like utilizing your abilities. So rather than up here where you're not really doing too much, like being like right here where we can help Sig with Inspire, go and be on the Ramatra, but if it's dangerous, we have Cart, we can back up to Ana, things like that. So remembering that you're not a tank, but still being closer.
Yeah.
No, I'm coaching. I go out.
The barrier cannot withstand much more. Barrier unsuccessful.
All right, so it's good that we push. We get closer. Okay. Here. Yeah.
I think I was trying to tag someone.
Yeah. Junk dies pretty quick. Okay. There, maybe we're being a little hesitant. Echo gets a lot of kills. Good move. Uh-oh.
I think I was trying to save Ana with this rally. Is that...
I would say maybe... Okay. Well, first problem comes when we accidentally smack him while he's sleeping, but I mean, like, that's not sorry, he wasn't sleeping, he was rocked. Never mind. Yeah, so the problem is that I don't know if Ana's gonna immediately die here because it's hard. She's around the corner. Yes, there's a Ramatra on you guys, but you might be able to just get him anyways. So maybe at the very least you could wait longer to see if it's really needed. So that way you're not just burning through the ultimate. But even if Ana dies here, then you're staggering their Sig after that, and you still have rally for the fight, and then they're down nano. So honestly, it probably wouldn't hurt just to wait longer and see, do I need it? And then by that point, you might have even have another health pack to work with. You can see that he's not even like, he wasn't even really attacking on it anyways. Now he's going for you. I don't know why none of your teammates are coming. Yeah, honestly, I think it's probably just better to use it for the fight. Because now we don't have it here.
Do you think we should try dying earlier there?
Yeah, dying earlier or just getting out, because I think we re-peaked it. You probably could have gotten out, but we kind of went back for the flail. Maybe you're just trying too hard to get out with Ana. So yeah, really, it's just when you're staggering, it's just die, or if you think you can get out, get out. But try not to overstay your welcome.
Yeah.
Either or works. Okay. Notice how much like further back you are from like your Orisa. I'd say like a lot of the time, once again, if you're not playing that like counter dive playstyle, especially if you have like a tank that's a little bit more brawly, you probably want to kind of play point on your tank where you're kind of letting them stay ahead of you, obviously, because you're squishy and you will blow up if you try to step past your Orisa. But if you let Orisa play in front of you and take all the damage, then we can do like a quick peek with a whip shot, and we can stick with her, give her health packs, turn around, help back other people. When they get close enough, you can flail around the corner. We can actually like get a little bit more actions per minute in, right? So we're not just sitting around as much. And then
Yeah.
that getting more actions per minute in just means overall you're getting more stats out there, more damage, more healing, more ult charge, more kills maybe, just because you're hitting more things. But we kind of constantly seem to be pulling back a hair from the fight. Like even here, yeah, we're like, you push in, and that was good. You back up because they got slept. Yeah, you see like Arissa's pushing forwards. Go ahead.
Am I like too sticky to my Ana?
Yeah, I'd say in this game, yeah. I mean, not like we said before, not always a bad trait. But
Yeah.
yeah, just team comp dictates play style, right? So they're on a different team comp, you play differently. You're on a different team comp, you play differently. You're going to have different positioning if they're on a dive versus if they're on, on a spam like they are right now, spammy brawl. You're going to just be playing completely differently. And it might change your awareness, might change how you're positioning, things like that. So yeah, I'd say we're sticking a little too far back on the Ana, a little just too far back in general. Like here, notice how you like behind your whole team.
Okay.
And we could be like probably like more up on cart where now we can, Rissa and Junkrat are dropping in. You can bash forward, swing on soldier, help get that kill, back up behind Orisa, after you kill soldier, things like that. But now we're just like not in range to do that. Oh, and now we're pushing in, so that's good. Okay. So we get on Mr. Ram. That stinks. That's unfortunate. I don't know if there's much more we could have done.
Yeah.
Functions at peak power. Get healed here. Here, take this. I've got my ultimate is ready. Come on.
Yep. Right. Like if we're up a little bit closer, I be spamming whip shots a hair more because if we get in a whip shot, then we don't need to waste as many packs in between these fights. Be careful about using too many packs. We just want to be careful with those, right? Because we're starting the fight at zero. At zero
Okay.
packs, right? Because the problem now is that like that was kind of the pokey phase of the fight, right? The fight didn't start yet. We're just poking. And now the fight's actually starting because your tanks are kind of on top of each other. And we don't have packs to work with. And now that means we just don't have any healing to give people when they actually will probably need it the most because the more damage and ults will be flying. So alternatively, notice how like when we throw these two packs, like yeah, she needed healing, but like was she really in danger when we throw these packs, right? Like she needs healing, but maybe Ana could have healed her. Or, like we said before, if you're closer and you're landing whip shot, maybe Inspire heals her up. So I just be careful to use the packs only if they're actually really needed in between fights. And then you can also just rotate that first pack. So instead of using all three, you can look and see how you have 3 packs. Use the first one, let it recharge, use that one again. That way you always have like 2 available. So just like rotate that first pack in between fights, unless somebody really needs it. And then you can of course use them. Don't let them die. But you can see how like we're throwing packs on Orisa when she's still has, when she's down like 50 to 100 HP. So we can probably just let the other support take care of it, or we can proc Inspire. Good kill. Okay. Could push forwards for like the stun on him, maybe if because we do have like our whole team here. So if we can like get in his face and stun him, that might and his ult's about to like run out, so that can get some damage, put pressure on him, and potentially get the kill on him. He's about to run back to his team, so we could have like whip shotted him further into that corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing a very good job of staying alive. Very good job of staying alive and just kind of and throwing packs. But I think I'd say the general trend so far is that even though we're staying alive, we don't seem to be getting very much value out there. And something just to like always keep in mind is that like, you know, you can be the most survivable person in the game by sitting in spawn and doing absolutely nothing, right? So sometimes there's a
Yeah.
trade-off between doing things and staying safe. And and what you want to do is find the balance where you're doing things while staying safe. And that's going to be how you start to improving it better, is by getting more value and doing more things while also learning how to stay safe in the process instead of just being safe. So that's, yeah. And we've already talked about all the different things or a lot of the different things that getting more value would entail. Yeah, because we've only died one time, so it's not like deaths are the problem here.
Looking better already. Shields buckling. Here, take this.
Yeah, like for example, once again, like you do have like more than half your team here. They have some people on cart. I don't think I'd see too big of a problem if we like pushed a little bit closer to help Orisa with Sigma, or sorry, with Ramatra. Bro, the shields mess me up.
Yeah.
So I think that would be probably a pretty decent idea instead of just kind of pack botting, because then like look how low Ramatra is here. Like if we're over there, then we could probably help clean up that kill much quicker. Now Orisa is gonna struggle to hold space. Junkrat feeds. Now we probably shouldn't be too far forwards, but notice how we're like, once again, distance. Notice even just the difference between like this 5 meters, where from here we can't do anything, but if we're right here, well, we still have cover, right? We can still do all the things we want to do, except for now we can whip shot Ramatra back, right? Now we can maybe contest. Can you contest card? I don't know if you can contest card from here.
Not from here. No, you
Not
can't.
from here. Yeah. But you know, Anna pushes forward, so you can get a whip shot on her, just being able to see more, do more.
I've got you. I can protect you. Duplicating soldier 76.
Yep, which you do. You push forwards. That's good.
Looking better already.
Yeah, you're cleaning up now, so can be pushing here as well.
Okay.
Maybe. Ooh, this might be a little handy to cover. Generally this is something I go over with like tanks. But you know, Brig is mini tank. So we
Pretty
can
much.
so we can go over the concept, and I think that it'd be helpful. And it's really because right now there seems to be a struggle with knowing when do I push, when do I back. Probably more often the when do I push part.
Yeah.
And kind of aggression, like when do I be aggressive, when do I play passive. And this is a tool that you can use that helps you know where you should be at any given moment. And yeah, that I guess I can just start on it. Basically, this is the concept of aggression scaling. You think of aggression as if it were on a scale, like a slidable scale. At 0%, you have super passive. At 100%, you have super aggressive. And at 50%, you have neutral, where you're just kind of chilling. That's usually at the start of every fight. You're at neutral because nothing has happened yet. So you don't have anything swaying you to aggressive or passive. You will adjust upwards on the scale and get more aggressive with opportunities and with advantages. And you will adjust downwards on the scale with disadvantages, with a lack of opportunities, and with disadvantages. I didn't mean to say lack of opportunities.
Yeah.
It's disadvantages, danger, and what was the other one I'm thinking of? Lack of resources. I said that.
Okay.
So let me break down a couple of these. Um, Advantages and disadvantages, right? There are a lot of different advantages and disadvantages, but the primary one is going to be like characters, right? Or who's up and who's down, right? So if you
Mhm.
are up a person, right, you get a kill, you go from 50% to 60% aggression, right? You can play a little bit more aggro. You're up 2 kills, you can play a little bit more aggro. They have less people to shoot at you, so you're probably not going to die as quickly, right? So you go up to 60%, then 70, then 80, then 90, then 100 accordingly, right? If their whole team's dead, then doesn't really matter, right? And then it goes the other direction too. Disadvantages. If you are down a person, you haven't lost the fight being down a person, but you probably want to play like a little bit more passive. Just like you can't, they have the advantage, so you kind of want to try to bide your time, try to find some way to swing it. Maybe go down to 40%, then 30% for 2 deaths, and then 20, and then 10, and then 0. If your whole team's dead, you're obviously going to not be pushing, right? So then there's also a lot of other advantages and disadvantages, such as which team has more health, which team has better positioning, which team has more ultimates, which team has more abilities, which team has closer spawns, things like that. Those will also be adjusting this up and adjusting this down accordingly. Opportunities are going to be things like you see someone who's 1 HP. You see someone who's out of position, right? So if somebody's low, maybe we can run forwards, land a flail or a whip shot in, and then bash out, or bash in, get a kill, and then walk out. Things like that, right? You can get more aggressive, capitalize, and then disengage once you've gotten that opportunity. It could be someone's out of position. Could be that you have your ultimate, right? You kind of get this when you when you ult, that's an opportunity to push forwards and engage. Then we already talked about disadvantages. Then you have lack of resources. So resources are going to be things like your health, your shield. I'd say those are your main 2 on Brig, but even your abilities, like do you have bash? Do you have whip shot? Because you can use bash to like engage or disengage. So if
Yeah.
you don't have shield and you don't have bash and you're low health, you probably shouldn't be pushing. And the more you have of these, it's not going to like put you up the scale. It's not like you're going to go to 100% because, oh yeah, you have health, but it will send you down the scale, right? Even if you have an opportunity, if you have 1 HP, you can't be pushing, right? So it sends you down the scale. And then also last one here is danger, right? If there's a Diva Bomb next to you, you probably shouldn't be pushing. If they are using a bunch of ultimates, probably shouldn't be pushing, right? Danger drags you down the scale. So this scale is going to be constantly fluctuating. Sometimes it might stay in the same spot for a little bit, but very frequently in the middle of a fight, it's going to be all over the place. Like, for example, you might push into a fight, and be at 50%, you're neutral starting, right? And remember, 50% doesn't mean you're sitting back on your Ana. 50% might mean that you're chilling right behind your Orisa, landing some whip shots and just kind of waiting to see what happens. Maybe landing the occasional flail, and then you see, oh, their Junkrat's 1 HP. So you go and you push forwards a hair, and you go for the whip shot on him, and then all of a sudden you get Helix by Soldier, and now you're 1 HP. So now you have to back up and play super passive. So you just went from 50 to 100 to 0, all within the course of 1 second. And that can that's how it just is going to be sometimes. And you just want to kind of keep track of it and adjust accordingly. As you get better with it, it's just going to come naturally, and that's just the process of habits and improvement. If you just work on it, all this will happen in a split second in your head where you're not even thinking about the scale. You'll just know I should be pushing, I should be backing. But this is basically the breakdown in your head and the tool to use to know when should I be pushing, when should I be backing. There's a lot of the time where we're in these fights, and I'd say instead of 50% being your neutral's probably more like 20 to 25%, right? And then that means that you're just not doing enough on your base neutral, and then there's some times where you should be getting up to like maybe like 70-ish, 70, 80, and you're kind of still sitting down at like 30 to 50, right? Where we could be pushing and then we're not pushing. So does all of that make sense? Do you have any questions on any of that?
Damn that. Yeah.
Sorry, the first thing you said cut out.
No, I just said, yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Cool. All right, well, let's keep going. Oh, she melted pretty quick. Pretty far away from Marissa to start here.
Yeah, I
Right,
should have
so-
probably played up more.
Mhm.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engine. On to the next one. Rolling to me.
Okay, so
On to the next one.
Did that tire come out before or after my ult?
the tire came out.
It's like,
I think came out before your ult because he just used it there. That's really unfortunate. We missed the whip shot, but also
Yeah.
we end up backing up here. I think maybe you think that he's just gonna get healed. But, oh dang it! If you stayed like just a little bit closer, you probably could have
got that.
Yep. And then even
Or if I
here,
popped rally and then pushed.
yeah, yep. He's like 1 HP.
But the tire here, you'll see it. Oh my, this one's scared me now. I thought I could stun it. I could not, so.
Nanobots administered.
Very nice. Good whip shot. Good kill. Uh-oh. Time to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much more you could have done there.
Capped here. Yeah, I was just. Bag.
All right.
Special delivery.
So should I be playing like left-sided cart up until then?
Yeah, so once again, I think that it'd probably be good to be like behind cart or, over here, like you said. Yeah, I agree. Because they weren't really doing very much to contest you. None of them were really looking at you. And then this opens you up for options like whip shotting high ground. Or even like, I don't know, maybe you could have seen Junkrat with a pack or Genji with a pack from here. Not sure he dies. Don't know if you could have or not. Yeah. Also, can you like jump bash to high ground here? I'm not sure. Maybe.
Ooh. I don't think there's anything I'm able to get off of though. I don't think there's anything I can bounce off of to like send me up.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if
I
you
know
can
the
just do
payload
it.
doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you could just do it flat up even without a bounce.
I might have to try that. Actually, that'd be amazing.
You probably
I know you
definitely can
be
for
on
that
height,
one.
though. Yeah, no, you can.
Yeah.
Honestly, that might be the play in general because we do have a Genji.
Mhm.
Let me help you with that. Everybody's good shape.
Well, it's so shaky. Whenever you walk like over a staircase, the screen like shakes.
Yep. Mhm.
Let me take care of that for you. This side.
Okay, good disengage. Yep.
Get healed here.
Okay. Lots of this poking time once again, where we're not really getting as maybe like sometimes we're just not getting as many whip shots as we could be getting in. Like we do get here, but before when we were kind of chasing Genji around, we weren't.
Yeah.
There seems to be just sometimes where there's downtime.
Like you right there.
Yeah.
And I rotated up there. Always nice. I need to peck on it. Yeah. I love being a tank.
Yep. Oh my goodness, Junkrat.
Patching you up. Here, take this.
Okay.
Probably kept running there.
For for reference, I mean, like, I don't know. I wasn't watching particularly. I don't know if there's any communication or if Anna pushed up. If it's up to you at all, probably Anna should be on cart rather than you, because we probably could have been more helpful push forwards. Because once again,
Yeah.
we've already
Yeah.
talked about that. The whole thing of like you do more when you're a little bit closer than 40 meters away. But Anna can be helpful from back on cart, so probably Anna's gonna be better off on cart. But I don't know if she just like pushed forwards without taking it or not.
We could jump up that.
Did we double pack some of that? Oh, we already used the pack. We used two, one there. Pack. Okay. Once again, definitely very simple to be pushing and getting here, because now once again, 20 meter range, here,
Yeah.
right? We can see both of them. And just start proccing those inspires, especially since we're all out of packs. That would be very handy. And then now, like, our whole team's pushing, and we're just like also lagging behind. Very nice.
Yeah, I should probably be getting up here too.
Yep. And also, I'm just to prepare for possibilities, right? Because there is the possibility that you go into your games and you start implementing some of this stuff, and then you run into the problem where you start dying more often, and that kind of is discouraging, or that's becoming a problem where you're just dying too much. Make sure that when you are pushing, that one, it's at the right time, because you could
Yeah.
run into the problem where like you're just executing it improperly. So it's not necessarily that it's the bad move, but it could be that like you're pushing but you're not using cover, or you're pushing but you don't have your teammates, things like that. So just be careful that you're firstly executing it properly. Secondly, be careful that you're not doing it at the wrong in the wrong timing. So you're not just pushing just for the sake of pushing because coach said to be more aggressive, right? So that's the whole thing we talked about with like there are obviously you want to be go and do things, and that's how you get value. But unfortunately, how the game works is that there's forces that pull against you being able to push, right? Like we said with all those other things, right? Like there is pressure and limited resources and just things that make it so that you can't push, even if pushing is the way that you get value. So you just gotta be careful to find that balance of when to push, when not to push. Let's talk application really quickly. How do you put this stuff into action? Because we talked about it a bunch of different things already. You're going to put this stuff into practice by making sure you come into your games and you're actively focusing on the things you try to work on. Not
Yeah.
just autopiloting, not just playing to play, but playing to improve. And what that will look like is it will look like you thinking to yourself as you play. Let you pick something out, let's say, for example, aggression scaling, and you think to yourself, aggression scaling, aggression, 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 and you're just thinking to yourself, when do I push? When do I back? When do I push? When do I back? Or even just you're thinking to yourself, positioning, be closer, be closer, be closer, be closer, right? And as you give yourself those reminders to play differently, well, you're probably going to play a bit better. And as you do that consistently, you'll form it as a habit. Once it forms as a habit, then it just becomes more natural. You're not going to need to think about it and focus on it all the time. Then you move on to something else to work on, and that's your cycle of improvement. Next comes your after you have improved on it. Sorry, not next. Just another thing is try not to do everything all at the same time. It'll just become overwhelming if you try to do everything. Instead, pick one category or 1 to 3 smaller things within a category to work on. All that makes sense? Any questions?
Yeah. That'll be good.
Okay, cool. Was there anything else? Well, if there is, I'll think about it.
Shields under fire. I'm taking damage.
Yeah, they're overall thing, bruh. Jesus.
Be mildly careful sometimes with like double packs. A lot of times on squishies, double packs will just be like overpacking because most of the time, like if unless they're like 1 HP and still being damaged, which is like the occasional thing, then double packing is good. But um a lot of times double packing on squishies isn't going to be great because, like, let's say they're at like 30 HP and health pack does, oh, I mean, on my numbers, is
Yeah,
it
that's a tough one.
120? It's 140, something in that
It's
range.
probably close. That's probably
Close
close.
enough, right? Then you're getting them
Yeah.
to like 170, right? And or somewhere around that range, right? Most of the time it's going to be like good enough, and then you don't like here you can see like how you just don't have it for like Junkrat when you need it. So I just be careful sometimes with like those double packs, and then that extra, if they no longer need it, then you just end up like overhealing with it. Just something to think about.
Yeah, I'm out of packs too.
All patched up.
Yeah.
Let me help you with that. I'll lead the way.
Yeah, start landing those instead of like relying on packs here, because remember we're at 0, so we probably want to start letting them recharge so we have them for when people like actually need the burst healing. So during this time, instead of just like we're kind of chilling once again in the back, just like waiting for a pack to come up, and then we have to use it immediately again. But probably should just be landing whip shots, getting procking his fire.
Shields buckling. Rally to me.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that comes a little late. We like push off to the left with Reaper.
Same play corner here with the Rissa.
Yeah, especially if you know you have your ultimate and you're planning on using it. Being close to Orisa or like right around cart is probably gonna be better, so you can actually hit her with Inspire. Oh, good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Special delivery.
Yeah. Other minor, like more minor in comparison to like all the other things we talked about. It's just gonna be like something like whip shot accuracy.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if I had to like give a guesstimate, I'd say somewhere in the range of like 50% at the moment. Um, like
That'd
it's
probably be alright. Yeah.
yeah, so like it looks like we're landing like half of them. So, um, obviously it's not horrible, but also not like great. We could probably be landing a few more of those. Part of that might be getting a little bit closer, which will lead to bigger targets, more accuracy. Another part of that is just gonna be practice and getting better at it and putting focus into it and just leading it and putting attention into it, things like that. Um, they're gonna help improve it, but yeah, that's just a point of notice just to put on your radar. But like I said, probably it's not the biggest things. But there are some times where like we whip shot the floor on accident.
Yeah.
We just use 3 packs. Where do we use 3 packs?
That is actually a great question.
Okay, so 2 packs on wrists, third pack
Oh.
on wrist. Yeah, so once again, like better to more evenly distribute and see who needs it before we're throwing all 3 on someone.
Yeah.
And then now we're in between the fight, so probably want to just recharge him. And like that's even something to think about. Is like, okay, yes, Reaper's 1 HP, but where's Bap at, right? Like, if I'm in between a fight here and we have to wait anyways, it's not like Reaper needs to go back in right now. The fight hasn't started. In fact, we probably don't want Reaper to go back in right now. So that's something to think about. Is like, okay, yes, Orissa's down a little bit. Yes, Reaper's 1 HP, but he's also around the corner. Is Bap? Oh, Bap's coming back from spawn. Okay, Bap got him, right? And then you don't need to waste packs, and then because you don't need to waste packs, then you have packs when fight starts. But once again, we're down packs when fight starts here. So having those during the engagement will, and then even like you can see there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Babs right next to you, and just save them for during the fight, because then they'll be able to like be used in duels, and burst healing will be better when people like actually need the burst healing. Like when Reaper's 1 HP, we don't have health packs.
Yeah. Did I play up with a wrist there originally too? When I first bashed over, trying to get another pick.
Like here.
Is
that what you're talking about, or-
You go on cart and then bash.
So right here, and then you bash. Yeah. I mean, I think you're trying to get cart pushed faster, but look at where they're all at. They can already. It's not like having more people in cart is gonna. You're not gonna cap it before they get back, right? So
Yeah.
you only need 1 person on cart at the moment, and you already have people there. So yeah, playing closer to over here is probably better. You could probably. Somewhere like
Kinda
here
tough.
yeah, it's kind of hard because there's not like Orissa's not the best place. You could play it over here, which could be good because you can still like if you need to, you can just like bash to pack, bash to to over here to team. You can play here. You can play down here trying to use cover to your advantage, being a little bit closer. Or even just like playing back here, poke forwards for that whip shot. Not imperative at the moment because the fight's kind of not started. Try to whip shot that. I'm not the biggest deal, but Tire, it only has 100. How much damage does whip shot do? Is it 250?
I
Right.
think it's more like 70 to 80. I know that.
70 to 80. 70 to 80. Okay, cool. Well, that does most of it
In that
if you
range.
land it. So that can just
Yeah.
help.
I gotta get that.
kind of stop looking at the Kiriko, even though she's still in swing range, or like she's still able to be swung at here.
Okay, yeah.
So, but we stop paying attention to her. Oh, then we look at her, but she's already gone. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Round
All right. Let's get to main points, wrap up review. And then you'll get, be a little bit quicker with this, but you'll get all the the condensed notes and
Yeah.
whatnot, and afterwards, so that'll get you the rest of it.
Hmm.
All right. So start with abilities. Abilities. We talked about. Let's see. Oh, there was Brig. All right. Abilities. We talked about the fact that all of your abilities require ranging, right? You have your bash, which is going to be 5 meters, right? Or is it 6 meters? Maybe it's 6 meters.
I think it might be like
7?
5.5.
5.5. Oh, that looks like 6-ish.
Really?
7? Oh, 7.
Wow.
7.
Really? There's
Maybe.
no way.
Yeah, because this is 10 right here. We
Yeah.
and we landed it from here.
Nice
So
try.
7 meters ish, right? So what that's range to watch out. Flail, 5 meters, 6 meters.
Oh, I might be talking about flail when I said
Yeah, so this is
probably.
like 5.56, something like that.
Yeah.
Whip shot is 20 meters.
Raising shield.
So that's here to there, right? Here to there. Can't land it. I mean, stand right outside of it. Won't be able to land it.
Yeah.
To watch these ranges in game, you can ping people, and above their heads you'll see meters, right?
Okay.
So that can help you pinpoint that ranging. I mean, or if you just have the feel for it, go for it. But that can be a tool if you need it.
Yeah.
Health pack, ranging doesn't matter for that one. But watch overusing it. Watch double stacking. Watch using them all in between fights. In between fights, chill out a hair on it. Rotate that first health pack. And try to have them ready for when the fight begins, if at all possible. Obviously, other situations will arise sometimes. Yeah, just being ready to be able to use your abilities. Whip shot, we talked about, a little bit of accuracy can be helpful as well. Use it a little bit more frequently. Sometimes we're holding on to it, not all the time. Just a little bit of a consistency thing. Overall abilities, probably like higher end of a medium priority for you to work on.
Okay.
Ult usage, not too big of a deal for the moment. I don't think it's perfect. Maybe there was like sometimes where like it was over focused on tanks, which probably comes a little bit from how you're positioning yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, most of them were pretty solid, and we didn't really spend too much of the session on them. So overall, it's like a low to medium priority. Your mechanics, like target priority, we didn't really go in depth on it, but maybe sometimes we're like, this will stem a little bit from your positioning, but we were probably a little bit too over focused on tanks, but we didn't get into that at all.
Yeah.
But besides that, Brig doesn't really have mechanics per se. Then next comes positioning, ranging. That was like the big one. I mean, obviously also make sure you're using cover. Good positioning is the usage of cover. Bad positioning is the absence of cover. As you're getting closer, make sure to use that. But then also just watch your ranging. When you're just in this poke phase and you're just doing stuff, try to stay in that 20 meters so you can just get whip shots in. You can even like go in and out of it, right? You have that 4 seconds, so you can go in it, have cover, go step into it, step out of it, right? You don't have to be 20 meters. We can just kind of go in and out of it as we need it, but probably like that 20, 25, something like that. And then sometimes be a little bit closer, right? Like go and push. There's ways to be aggressive while still, being safe, using cover, using your tank to push ahead of you. Just be careful not to die while you're doing it. Overall positioning was like a medium, maybe medium high priority for you to work on. Medium, maybe higher end of a medium. And then next comes awareness and slash aggression, because aggression usually is like tied in with awareness, right? You kind of need to know what's going around you to know when you should push and when you should back. So pay attention to where's your team, where's the enemy team, what's your health like, what's up with the fight. I think generally you had a pretty good sense of that, so I don't think that like the awareness was too big of an issue. Maybe like watch kill feed, make sure you're not like ulting in one fights or things like that. But then next comes that implementing it into aggression, right? Aggression scaling, you start at 50% neutral, you adjust upwards to 100% or anywhere within that upwards range, with advantages and with opportunities, and you adjust downwards with disadvantages, a lack of resources, and danger. So just watch that, because that was probably one of the biggest ones that kind of like pairs hand in hand with that positioning, being a little bit closer. Because it just on average you're a little bit too passive, and that's just going to show in your gameplay. So those two kind of pair together, but I'd say the aggression scaling is generally going to like kind of lead where you're positioning. So that one probably comes a little bit ahead, medium high or a lower end of a medium high for you to work on. So to put that all in order, number one, aggression, awareness / aggression, working on that. Positioning probably is kind of tied in with that almost, but that kind of comes number two because they're tied in together. Then next comes ability usage, and that's really about it. Like the other things are kind of minor. Ult usage comes after that, but those are like the primary things. Any final questions on anything?
Probably not. No.
All right, cool. Recording